Hey, and welcome back to the Tech Enthusiast channel. Today I will go through a few programs which I think are quite useful for Windows users. Get subscribed, leave a like down below, and let's get started. The first utility is called NanaZip, the open source archiver intended for the modern Windows experience, unlike 7-zip. To install it, you can go to their GitHub website, and there make sure that you click on the releases link. Here, select the latest stable release, and the ending of the installation file should be MSX bundle. Or you can just open up Windows Store app and at the top search for NanaZip, and you can install from there. Now let me show you what NanaZip can do. Here on my desktop I have a folder with this text file inside, like you see here. Now, if I right click on this folder, here you will also see right click Windows 11 context menu. Down below we have NanaZip menu, and here we can add this folder to 7-zip format or to zip format. Or if I click here to add to archive, we can also see a few more options. Down below we can enter the password for encryption, and here down below we can also select the encryption method, or at the top we can even change the archive format, so 7-zip or zip, and we can also change this to tar or vim formats. So in this case I will select here zip and OK, and now if I re-enter the password here as well and press OK, we created encrypted 7-zip folder. With that said, this has been one of the programs on my list for this video, so I hope you guys will appreciate the next one, which is Dynamic Theme, simple wallpaper app for your desktop and lock screen. You can get this app on Microsoft Store for free, and it's quite similar to Windows Spotlight feature, which was introduced a few months ago. Dynamic Theme app is just application form of that feature with few more options on top. Now let me show you how I configured this application. So here at the top background section, we can select here customize your background. Here I selected one Bing picture, but here you can pick whatever you personally like. Here we have an also option to choose a few more wallpapers. So here I clicked choose, and here I selected this wallpaper. So here are some of the other wallpapers from which you can pick also, and this is the one which I landed on, and I think it looks quite nice for this time of the year. Now here I will pick choose. Here we can also select choose a fit. So personally I went with fill, and this is pretty much it for the background. Now let's go straight to the lock screen, which is quite similar to the background settings. So here I selected one Bing picture. So if you want to have the same wallpaper on your background and also on your lock screen, you will need to have the same settings for them. So here I selected one Bing picture, and here you can select choose the picture you want to use. I also choose this one, as you can see right here. Now I chose a fit to fill, and this is pretty much it for the lock screen as well. Next we have an application called UnitedSets from Firecube Studios. Now this app allows you to group windows into different browser-like tabs, or tabs like you see on the current File Explorer. You can get this app on the Microsoft Store for free, and now let me show you how it actually works. So if you want to add application to the UnitedSets program, first you will need to open the application you want to add, and now what you will need to do is click this plus sign at the top left, and now we will need to hover over the program and press tab to add it to the UnitedSets. Here you can see that we have tab and it's called home. Now if we would want to add, let's say, a few more programs, I think it would be quite interesting workflow using only UnitedSets eventually. So let's add another one, for example the Firefox browser. So press tab, and now we have the Mozilla Firefox and the home. So potentially we could use Windows just with this program. And now, for example, if you would close the, let's say, File Explorer here, so if I press X, now we can also see that it exited also here in the taskbar. This is pretty much it for the UnitedSets program. I think it's quite cool, but still in beta, so you may expect some issues here and there, but nothing major. So yeah, let's get straight to the next app, which is Shell from NanaZip, a right-click context menu replacement, and it really nicely integrates with the Windows 11 UI. And on top of that, it is also also quicker than default Windows 11 right-click implementation. The app is also lightweight, so you won't notice any performance hit on your computer. You can install this one from nilesoft.org. Link will also be in video description right below the like button. Now let me show you how to install it. First, go to the link in video description, or you can just type it by yourself. And here on this website you can go to the download section, and here you have two versions, installer and portable version. Here I will go with the install versions. So let me show you how it actually works. Right click on the desktop, for example, and here you can easily see this brand new menu. We have also a few more options, so like terminal, go to, and a few more other options, so like develop, editors, .NET, file manage, and so on. Here, if you click, for example, on the taskbar, you can also see a few more additional features. Like, look at this, you have settings, taskbar settings, task manager, run, file explorer. Before we installed this program, there was only task manager, I believe, and also taskbar settings, so these two. But here we have a plethora of settings to choose from. So I think that this is really nice implementation from the NanaZip. So let's take a look how it looks from the different files. So here I have this wallpaper image. If I right click, you can also see a few more options from this NanaZip program. So NanaZip is also here, terminal, send to, cut, copy, more options, and I think this is really useful program. I hope you guys appreciate this program, and let's get straight to the next one. If you would like to have Mica effect on more apps, you should try an app called MicaForEveryone. So what is Mica effect? The Mica effect is this acrylic blur looking texture, which is compatible with few Windows apps. So for example, here I have File Explorer, and on top of the File Explorer, you can see this texture, which is, I think, responding to the wallpaper. So here you can see this orange thing, and now if I move it, you can see the orange thing here. So yeah, this is basically the Mica effect. The app is completely free and available on their GitHub page. However, if you guys have computers with low specs, I would avoid using this one. And now let me show you how it actually works. So in MicaForEveryone program, on the first page, so the general one, I recommend that you enable an option called Run on Startup. Here I will show you how the look of the Mica effect will change for the File Explorer. So this is the default look, and now let me show you how it looks after some changes in MicaForEveryone program. Now let's change the background type. So for example, here we have four options: non-Mica, acrylic, and tap. Acrylic is a blur option which was introduced back in Windows 10. So I will go with this option. Corner mode, I will put this one to the default, and if you want to, but here are some of the experimental features under the advanced, of course, extended frame into client area and also blur behind. Blur behind has some of the issues, but I will leave these two options to off. So right now let's take a look how the File Explorer actually looks. So this is blur after the changes. I think that this blur has much more effect on the wallpaper and it's much more noticeable. So if I right now disable this to the default, and let's close the File Explorer and open it once again, and now you can also see that this acrylic effect is much less visible. So here what I recommend is acrylic effect, which was introduced back in Windows 10. So this is this one, like you see here. I think it looks absolutely stunning. And now if you would want to, you can also play with a few more settings, for example, for Microsoft Paint, terminal, and other options as well. Even the global rule is here. So yeah, this is pretty much it for the MicaForEveryone program. Let's get straight to the next one. The last program on the list is called QuickLook, which allows users to peek into a file content by just pressing the space key. Once again, this app is also free and you can install it from GitHub or Microsoft Store. If you want to, you can also add more functionality to the program by installing a few plugins, which are also accessible on their GitHub page. Using this app is quite straightforward. If you want to preview the file, you can just hover with the mouse over the specific file you want to preview and then press space to preview it. Here you can see this folder, how many of the files it actually contains, how many of the megabyte it actually uses, and when was last modified. Now, if I go inside the folder and press space on my specific wallpaper here, you can see the preview. If you want, you can also use your scroll wheel to zoom in or to zoom out of the file. Or if you want to, you can also use your keys on your keyboard to change to a different file inside this folder. If you want to open this preview in Photos app, you can just press enter, and right now it will execute a command and it will open in the Photos app. And this is pretty much it for this last app. Let's go straight to the outro. Now, this has been Tech Enthusiast video. If you found it helpful, subscribe and like down below would be much appreciated. All the links for the programs which I showed you in this video are in video description. If you want to, you can also buy me a coffee on ko-fi.com by clicking the link down below. And with that said, have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.